Hello everyone and welcome back to another What If Star Wars video, and in today's video we are going to start off with Anakin leaving Darth Sidious's office to go grab members of the 501st commanded by Commander Oppo to take them over to the Jedi Temple to execute Order 66. The temple halls echoed with the sound of blaster fire as cries all over the temple occur. Lightsabers dropped to the ground as many Jedi Masters tried to take the younglings to safety. However, there was nowhere safe to go. Anakin approaches the younglings' training room. As he's about to walk in, a figure comes before him. It is Qui-Gon. As Qui-Gon said, "Anakin, stop." Anakin looked at the figure with his lightsaber ignited. Anakin says, "Qui-Gon, how is this possible? Why are you here?" Qui-Gon responded back by saying, "I came because the Force called me to come." "What are you doing, Anakin? This was not the path I saw for you." The conflict with Anakin and Darth Vader grows as seeing his former master reminded himself that if it wasn't for Qui-Gon finding him on the dunes of Tatooine, he probably wouldn't be put in this situation right now. Anakin said, "You don't understand. This is the only path I have to save Padme. My visions of her dying in my dreams will become reality if I do not do what Sidious says." Qui-Gon moves in closer to Anakin to ask, "Why do you trust him?" "The Force doesn't grant life through hatred. Anakin, it only takes it." Anakin lets go from his tight grip on his ignited lightsaber and says, "What would you have me do, Master? I can't just let her die. Everything I try to do just isn't enough. The Jedi failed me. You abandoned me." Qui-Gon rested one hand on Anakin's shoulder to let him know, "I never stopped believing in you, Anakin. I see the same greatness within you now as I did the first time I met you as a 9-year-old boy. But what you plan to do, this path will only lead to destroy everything you once loved." The pain in Anakin's eyes grows as Anakin replied, "You do not know what I've suffered, what I lost." Qui-Gon replied, "I know your pain and your fear. I see it day by day. The galaxy doesn't need another tyrant, Anakin. It needs a protector. That is why you were meant to be." Anakin, holding his hand against his head, says, "It's too late for me. I have already done so much." Qui-Gon reassures Anakin that it is never too late. The Force will guide you always. It lays the path forward. Trust in your love and not in your anger. I still see the good in you, Anakin. Forgiveness begins with yourself. The Force is not a blade you wield for vengeance. It is a guide to a source of balance. You indeed are the chosen one. You are meant to be the balance, not destroy it. At that moment, the figure of Qui-Gon vanished, and this caught Anakin off guard. What does he do? Believe that Palpatine doesn't indeed have the power to save Padme, or believe Qui-Gon that there is still good in him after all that he has done? He knew that depending on what his next choices were, could change the entire fate of the galaxy and the Jedi Order. As Anakin opened the doors to the younglings' training room, he ignited his lightsaber until he sees the younglings' faces. And then he sees a much younger youngling hiding behind some chairs. Then Anakin sees it, a vision of his unborn child. What would Padme think about all of this? What if that was his child, scared and thinking that rescue was on its way? He would do whatever it took to protect that child. Then he looks down at his lightsaber and hears all the screaming, the panic going on throughout the temple. What has he done? He tells the younglings to follow him to safety. As Anakin reaches the central hall, Commander Oppo turns to ask Lord Vader, "What are you doing with these younglings?" Anakin replied, "I am no longer Vader, and you need to stand down." all of the clones confused of what Lord Vader had just said. Commander Oppo replied, "Our orders are to execute the Jedi. That includes the younglings for their treason against the Republic." As the rest of the clones lift up their blasters, ready to open fire, Anakin ignites his lightsaber, deflecting shot after shot towards the younglings as the bullets ricochet towards the clone troopers, as many of them fall to the floor. Anakin then strikes down at the rest of the clones still alive. Anakin knows that he has to take the younglings far away from the Jedi Temple. There will be clones roaming all over the streets looking for Jedi survivors. Anakin knows that Padme's penthouse will be far enough and well secured to make it so that they can be kept safe. They arrive at the penthouse where Naboo guards welcome Anakin and the younglings inside. Many of the officers have been made aware of the smoke coming from the Jedi Temple. Anakin tells them that the clones have turned on the Jedi. "I have brought these younglings here for safety." Anakin then sees Padme. With everything that had just occurred, it had felt like it had been days since the last time they saw each other, when it had only been a few hours. Padme is shocked to see him, as his robes are all torn up. Anakin tells Padme that the younglings must be kept safe, as I have to go back to the temple. She asks Anakin, "Why do you have to go back?" Anakin lowers his head down and says, "Padme, I was wrong. I let my fear of losing you control me. I've hurt so many tonight, but I won't give in to my fear again. Palpatine lied to us, including the war. He is indeed the Sith Lord the Jedi had been looking for. With whatever Jedi we have left, we are going to stop him and end this war immediately. I know now what I must do." Padme comes over and hugs Anakin and says, "Please come back to me. I can't imagine raising this child on my own." Anakin replied, "I will return. I promise." As Anakin jumps into his starfighter, he tries to get in contact with Obi-Wan, with any luck of him still being alive. His transmission is able to make it through, but it is coming from General Grievous' starfighter. Obi-Wan says, "Anakin, is that truly you?" Anakin replied, "Yes, Master, where are you at?" Obi-Wan says, "I had just jumped into hyperspace as my clones had turned against me." Anakin, "Are you still on Coruscant?" Anakin replied, "Yes, indeed, my master. I have done terrible things." Anakin explains to Obi-Wan that it was indeed Palpatine was the Sith Lord that the Jedi had been looking for, and that he turned the army of the Republic against the Jedi. "He tempted me with the dark side of the Force, as it almost worked until..." Obi-Wan responded, "Until what?" Anakin replied, "Qui-Gon appeared to me at the Jedi Temple. He told me that everything Palpatine promised was another way to manipulate me." Obi-Wan gives Anakin his coordinates to meet with Bail Organa and Master Yoda. "Together, we can stop Sidious so that we can finally put an end to this war." So this ends part 1 of this what if scenario. I really wanted to focus on what Qui-Gon would have said to Anakin at the Jedi Temple, telling Anakin to let go of his fear, to be the protector he needs to be. I think that this and seeing the younglings at the Jedi Temple would have pulled Anakin to control his anger in the dark side and balance it with the light side. If you guys would like to see a part 2, let me know down in the comments down below what you guys would like to see, because I think it would be pretty awesome for Anakin, Obi-Wan, Master Yoda, and any other surviving Jedi to go to the Senate chambers to face off against Sidious. As always, thank you so much for watching to the end of this video. It truly means so much to me. Have a great day, and I will catch you all in the next one.